To begin our conversation about the sales process and the science of selling, we should first address the question, is selling an art or science? Another way this is asked, are salespeople born or are they made? Well, art is the use of the imagination to make things of aesthetic significance. And more specific to our question, a sphere in which creative skill is used. Few would argue that sales requires art or creative skill. Can it be learned? Research in the Creativity Research Journal and the Harvard Business Review show that yes, indeed, creativity is learned, and each year hundreds of millions of dollars are invested by companies to teach creativity. Okay then, what part of selling is science, and what do we mean by science? Science is the pursuit and application of knowledge and understanding of the natural and social world following a systematic methodology based on evidence. There is one clarification about the science of selling that we need to make here. And I will use a story that happened to me back in 1997 when I had been teaching sales for only a few years. As a college professor, I used to have students come to my office about 2 to 3 weeks before the end of the semester to discuss their grades, or really to sell me on rewarding them with a higher grade. They sat in my office and told me what a wonderful experience they had in my class. I was their favorite professor. They had learned more in my class than any other class, including Dr. Inks's. In this particular instance, a student came to my door and said, "Dr. Lowe, I need to talk to you about your class." I said, "Okay," and was expecting to get my ego stroked and to hear how wonderful the class was and what a great guy I was and what a great teacher I was. Well, this guy sat down and said, "Dr. Lowe, I hated your class." And I thought, well, this is a different approach. He went on to tell me that he was a finance major and that in finance, you're given formulas or processes that when you put in the right numbers and use the right formula, you get the single right answer every time. And he said, in your class, that is not true. Now, what he was telling me was that sales process does not work every time. And he was right. You will not make the sale every time, even if you implement the process perfectly. Of course, sometimes you will do everything wrong and get the sale. You see, sales is a social science or a soft science rather than a hard science. Math and finance are hard sciences, and the formulas work every time. In the soft sciences, we deal in propensities, probabilities, and tendencies. When it comes to social science and human beings and the way they think and make decisions, there are countless uncontrollable variables that affect the results. So what we want to accomplish in using a certain methodology is to improve our chances or odds of making the sale. We want to improve from making the sale 10% of the time to 20% of the time and then to 30% and more. This improvement substantially increases the revenue to your organization and your paycheck.